Hello.
Yay!
Yay, we made it. It's 5:02. Sorry, guys.
Ah, 2 minutes late.
2 minutes late. So here we are with John and Cree, and we're going to be talking about manifesting your dreams through, energy and raising your vibration. And also, John, you're the word police, you say? I've talked to John. I've talked to John a couple times, live hangout or just a hangout one on one, and he picks up on some of my, I guess you'd say, negative words. I'm trying to be positive, and then all of a sudden, there goes a word that he says, don't do that. You gotta watch your words. So he's gonna talk a little bit about, I guess, how to think before we speak, right, John, and just have the correct, I guess, vocabulary in a way, because we need to erase some of the words that we use every day. And I've been doing this for, well, my whole life. So I need to learn how to erase the negativity. All right, so here is John Moore, everybody.
Attenzione, attenzione. We have now entered days, ill liberated minds hour.
Yeah, we're wearing our shirts. You gotta show your shirt.
Ah,
Woohoo!
I'll, I'll just hide. I don't have a shirt.
It's okay.
So,
You'll have one soon.
anyway, I'm John. I'm by no means a professor at this, but I've been called the word police a lot of times because when I talk to people, I pick up on words that people say, or that they'll say something that, wow, why would you want to cast that type of energy out there? And that's what words are. Words is an energy. It's a vibration, and everything that you say and maybe even think, who knows how deep it goes, comes out as a vibration that goes out into the ethers. It collects energy and then it turns around. There's an old, I think, Wicca creed to what you cast out comes back times three. So if you're saying words like, uh, I hate this job, it's killing me. The, so hate is probably the most destructive word for you, and that it's killing me. Do you really want to cast that energy out there? I would say something. I have overcome the boundaries of this work profession that I now do, and keep it on the positive side. Saying I have overcome, you're indicating that it's over with. You have already accomplished it, and you're now working on making it better, because the energy that's coming back towards you times three is, hey, she's having a very positive, or he's having a very positive effect. So there's a lot of words. I can't, I want, I don't know. These are all words that cast out a negative energy, because out in the ethers they hear I can't. Well, cannot. Not is another, what we call a negative word. Or I want. Want indicates you don't have it. So it comes back with, well, if she doesn't have it, she doesn't have it, and that's what comes back to you.
What about
So
when we say I wish?
I wish is the same thing. I wish means you don't. It's a word, a way of wanting.
Because that's what I say. You correct me on that one.
Yeah, yeah. The wish is a way of saying I don't have it, or I don't, whatever it is. I wish I had a new car. Well, I wish means you don't have the new car, and that's what you're casting out. And a lot of times, I worked in a prison here in Texas for a long time, and you hear a lot of language. And I was in the Navy for a long time, and you hear a lot of language. They cuss like a sailor, or like an inmate. Those are words you get. And at the beginning of the prison time, I'd hear someone call me oh, you're a bitch, or you're an asshole. Excuse the French for those who are sensitive, you know. And I always had my comebacks. And then I started my spiritual awakening, and I started realizing it. Well, I'm not an asshole. I'm not a bitch. So if I would just release the words, just smile, well, thank you. Release the words with love, then who owns those words? The person cast them out, and they're coming back to them because I didn't accept their truth as my truth. If you respond to them in anger, you get all upset. Oh, they called me a name, you know. Are you accepting that as your truth? Are you agreeing with them? Because if you don't, those words mean nothing to you. You know it's not true, or you wouldn't respond to it. And so you just release it with love, and then that person owns those words. And that's one of the biggest things I see. You know, people get in anger, and they have their confrontations, and they want to use derogatory words. I'll get them. You know, I'll call them a name. You know, or your mother this, or whatever they like to do. But if you know it's not true, you just release it with love, and then they own the words. But what are some of the words that you can use? Manifestation, or to help in your spiritual path. I am. The most powerful two words out there. I am. I am happy. Believe it. If you're just saying words and you don't believe them, are you going to create anything? What's the energy behind? Yeah, I am happy. As you're frowning and having what you consider a real bad day. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah. So you have to get that energy, the vibration going. You have to be happy. You have to look out there. You know, you're going to have obstacles in your life, but you have to know you're happy. You have to believe it. I am rich. Rich isn't always monetary. Rich, you can have a family with a loving husband and kids and good friends all around you, a good spiritual community. So you're rich in love. And why would you want to be more rich than anything than being rich in love?
Yeah.
You know, love is very important. So you come up with words like that. Another word that I've seen people use is I command. To me, I've always thought about it, well, I command a happy life. You're putting out an energy. I'm commanding it. It's there. That's what I'm getting. I'm commanding it. Or I command a parking space, a good parking space, which might be an abuse, but that's the first time I heard it used by somebody. I was in a car with him. I command a good parking space. And I kind of looked, what are you doing? Went around the next corner, the very second spot, right there at the front. Car was backing out. I said, well, isn't that sort of an abuse of it? But I would think that it would be. But, you know, some people have, you know, different ideals of what they consider important. And I mentioned it. Well, to me, it seems like an abuse. But, you know, you're on your path. It's your life. And so be it. Okay. Command all you want. The third one that is another important one, and it should replace I have, is I choose. I choose to. It has more of a positive energy than I have to. You're saying instead of I have to makes it sound like somebody is making you do it, or you're doing it, but it might not be what you want to do. But to say I choose to, then you're casting your energy behind it, saying I choose to do this, and then you're casting it out in a positive way.
Yeah.
And I by no means, I violate all the rules myself at times, and I'll catch myself and I'll oops but yeah, I do it a lot when other people are talking. I go, oops, watch your words, and because I hear it immediately when other people's doing it, but I don't hear it when I say it myself until afterwards. And then, my mouth is faster than my mind,
Yeah.
which brings up another thought then.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you think a little bit before you cast out your words? I have a very fast mind,
Me
but
too.
boy, my mouth can go at 100 miles an hour, and my mind just doesn't keep up with it at times. So I'll,
That's a problem.
yeah, and somebody will say something, and I'll whip off an answer. Like one of the examples is back when I was in Italy, and we go to the commander's briefing in the morning. The commander would say something or ask a question, and I would immediately throw the answer out.
Mm-hmm.
And my boss came to me one day. He said, I wish you would stop doing that. I said, doing what? He said, I hadn't even had time to process the question, and you're already throwing the answer out, and it makes me look stupid. I said, well, I can't make you look stupid. Maybe I need to slow down. What he said, it makes it look like I don't know an answer. You need to slow it down, think about it, and maybe say it a little better than just a short sentence. Oh, that is this, and it's the right answer, but it could be said better ways if I would have thought about it a second. And so I try to think a lot of times before I answer. The people will say something and I'll think and I'll let it go. Then all of a sudden, all right, now here's my thoughts about this and here's my thoughts about that. And so those are just a few things. And I'm going to get into just real quickly about the law of attraction. There's really, 7 laws to attraction, which is manifestation, and you got to attract it to manifest it. So you have to have the desire, an intense desire for it. You have to desire having whatever it is. Then you have to have an imagination. You have to be able to imagine it, concept it. Right there, I see it. I have a new car. It's there, right here. I see it. I'm driving my brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I'm going to go 4-wheeling up that hill over there, maybe tomorrow morning, and it's in my mind. It's there. Then you do affirmations, and you come up with an affirmation, a positive. I choose. See, there I go. I choose a blue Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee, to travel the hills with. Then you got to have focus. You got to focus on it. You got to think of it. I have my little chart hanging right here that Day has up on her wall up above her head, and some of my things, and I focus on them. I have it sitting right here in front of me. It's not my sole thoughts, but it's there. I'm conscious of it. I know it's there. Because you can't sit there, it's going to happen. No, you got to have a positive focus on it. Then you have to have a profound belief. Yes, I believe I have this Grand Cherokee. You got to believe in yourself. Now, you are the most important person in your life. You have to take care of your wants and needs first. So if you focus your attention on me, or if I focus my attention on me, and I focus it, I have that car. I believe in myself. It's important. Then the manifestation happens. And you have this manifestation. That's number 6. And the last step, what do you think it would be?
Being grateful.
Grateful, gratitude. You got to be thankful. You got to say, you're a smart girl. You got to be grateful that you manifested your desires. And this doesn't work on just cards. This works on anything. I manifest, I desire, I choose to be rich. I choose to find a perfect mate. I choose anything. It's all choice, and it's your choice. But you have to have the affirmation. You have to put the energy out there in a positive tone. You have to believe in it. You have to see it happening.
Yeah.
When it happens, then you have to be thankful for it.
Mhm.
And basically, that's all that I have. I'll turn it over to Cree Joy, I believe, is next, and she can talk about manifesting.
Yeah. Well, I loved it. Whoa, I can hear my. It's weird. Am I echoing?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thanks. Wait, so can I ask John questions now, or are we gonna wait till the end?
You can ask him a question, and then he can unmute himself when to answer.
I think maybe we should wait till the end. That might be better to
Okay.
just do questions. Is that better? I feel like that'd be better.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook or have read my channel messages, but I'm a channel for a collective on 11D, and they call themselves AMSA. And AMSA, actually, I didn't realize this is what it meant, but translates as I am that. So I'm channeling like source or whatever. I am energy is always good. So it's like, it feels safe, and they give me, it's like basically my guardian angels, it's my guides, and they give me advice and guidance on all things. But the thing that really, really I was wanting guidance on, because it seems like 2015 is like the year of rapid and instant manifestation. So
Yeah.
what was blocking me was like my beliefs, and a belief is everything to me. I like to see everything visually. So to me, when I think of a belief, I think of like stagnant energy that's stuck in your field. It's something you've thought over and over and over again. That if everything is energy, then with source energy, love, and light, you can send that energy into that space within your field and light blast it into something that works for you. So that's something that I do with people that I work with, but that is the one thing that has helped me to bring more positive things to me, because the universe is it's not exclusive. So just like John is saying, if you say I can't this, or even if you form something that sounds positive but you have negative words like I don't want to get hit by a car anymore, I don't want to get hit by a car anymore, like when you're saying that to the universe is hearing hit by a car. Like that's and I'm the source, so it's being directed to me. So you have to be very careful in that aspect. So that was blocking me from I don't know how I got on that topic of talking about John's thing, but I'm going to go back to the beliefs. So that's something that I do is clear my beliefs, and a way that I do that, and people can try this at home. I believe everyone's a healer, and if you believe in yourself, you can call in your higher self, or even if you went to the Dwayne and Kelly tour, if you know your God consciousness is awakened, then you can tap into that and literally rearrange, transmute the energy that's in your field. So what I do is I expand my vibration as far as I can. I ground myself and I connect to my higher self. And then and from this space of being in your vastness, you feel infinite. So when you are when the negative feeling or thought comes into, it's almost like when you can, my words, I can't think of what I want to say. When the negative thought comes up, you aren't affected by it. You don't become reactive to it, since you're in that, infinite awareness. So in that space, you call it out. Okay, this thought, I don't believe that I can make $1 million in a month. Okay, where does that come from? Where did I buy that idea from? Ask yourself that. How do I feel when I'm carrying this? Like, what does it look like? Really, really get clear about what this energy is, and then ask your higher self, your guide, source, to come in and transmute that energy. I feel like a lot of people that I talked about manifesting, their thing is they don't know how to change their beliefs. They are not, it's like, yeah, you can do affirmations for days, and you can have a giant aura, and you can visualize and have vision boards, but if your belief is that you're not good enough, or this is never going to come to you, or I can't have this, or these crazy things that we make up as human beings, it's like that thing will never come to you. So that's the first thing that my guides always make very clear to me, that make sure you're in a pure space. You want to make sure you're coming from love when you're manifesting, because if you want a new car because you want to actually secretly compete with your neighbors who got a new car, that, you might attract it slower. You're always going to track what your intention is. So just make sure you're coming from a very pure place. And I just wrote down like 4 of the most important things for me, and my guys, of course, when it comes to manifesting is the first thing is feeling and creating the feeling of what it is that you want within. So this is always exciting. It can be a little stifling if you have some blocking beliefs, but this part is exciting because you actually feel your like limitless potential. You say, yes, I want a new house, but how is it going to make me feel? It's going to make me feel abundant because my family can come in from all over and stay with me, and I can finally have those parties that I've always dreamed of. Like, get into the feeling of what it will feel like when you have it, and then from the feeling place, that's where you act. You act from having it already, because like attracts like. So if I'm walking around, just like John was saying, if I'm already driving my new car, the universe, it's almost like it's law. The universe has to reflect it to you. There's no, oh yeah, you're driving in your new car and you know exactly what it is, but I'm just gonna give you something that's not how the universe works, which is good, but a lot of people, aren't aware of that law. And really, I mean, everything is reflecting you. So that's the first thing. Generate the feeling. The second is bless and thank your gifts in energy form now. So a lot of people that I work with, they get so bent out of shape and they get so down on themselves because they ask for this thing or even a feeling. It's not always materialistic things, that people ask for, but it might be peace of mind. There is a time delay in this third dimensional reality we live in. It's better if you accept that now. Like, accept the fact that there's a time delay here. There's no time delay when we get outside of the bodies. There's no time delay in our spirit form. But in this meat suit, on this planet, in this dimension, things take a minute to come to us. And we all know time doesn't exist, but there is the illusion that's still very much believed to be real, so it is real here. So when you bless and thank your gifts now, not only does that make that energy more excited to come meet you where you are, but you are stepping into your, I would say, like God consciousness, like shoes, and really, really, you're owning the fact that it is real, that you are creating it. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably the part that I forget to do the most, is blessing my gifts in advance, or blessing them now, because it's the first step and the second step. It's like, okay, I've generated the feeling, but I don't want to look crazy and say thank you for something that's not here. It's the whole crazy complex. So that's the second thing. The third thing is, allow the energy of what you want to move you forward. So we live in a society where it's like work hard and play later and work. That's an illusion to keep you tired and drained so that you buy and consume things that aren't good for your spirit. And you're not. Here's the thing. We are spiritual beings and we're having a human experience. So we have infinite energy running through us, and it's our decision if we want to access it or not. So if you really think that like working hard until you're tired, you're obviously not tapping into something that loves you. Yes, as human beings you do get tired, but I want you to understand that when you're working hard to get something, that if you just align with the feeling and just go with the flow, it's like water almost. The sense of working hard is like, a lot of people are, it's like they're infatuated with the idea of working really hard and then getting their prize. And that works for some people. But I'm coming to a place where I'm like, you know what? That whole working hard and being skimped up and bruised and hungry and living on the streets, I'm like, listen, if we're God and goddesses and I've got infinite spirit running through me, there's got to be an easier, more loving way to get to my dreams. So allow the energy of your desire to move you forward. Because here's the thing. When you say, you know what, I want to go out today and I want to go to a nice restaurant, and I want to meet up with an old friend, and I want to, whatever. You realize that your body starts to move for you. You start to get excited. You start to lift up within yourself. You start to, it's almost like your body starts to believe that it is there already. And then you think about it. And you're like, oh, dang, but I ain't got no money. Or, just kidding. All my friends are in wherever. Yeah. You have to learn how to let your desires penetrate the mental realm so that you can allow yourself to move. And that's the fourth. Now going into the fourth step or technique is allow yourself to change. For you to attract $1 million, say that. Everyone wants $1 million, right? For you to attract $1 million, do you really think that this you right now is going to be the one that is going to receive that $1 million? Or you would have it already. Like, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing, especially if you want it as quick as you do. If you want, am I going over my time? I feel like I'm talking a lot. Okay. If you are wanting something you've never had, and everyone's heard this, if you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And what I like to say is, if you want something you've never had, then do something that your mind is going to try to convince you you're not ready for. Because that's the mind's job. It wants to stay the same. It wants to be familiar with things. It wants to control. It wants to be very, So allow, when you go through all of these 4 steps, and I'll say them again, but the 4th step is really, really important, and that's the one I have trouble with too. It's like, you have to allow yourself to be changed by the energy, because I guarantee you the person that's going to receive all the things that you want is not the same person that, in spirit, yes, but you're going to have to move around. You're going to have to think a different thought. You're going to have to commit to something else. So, yeah, that's what came to me just to tell everyone. I feel like, there's a whole lot of tips and techniques, and these are the things that really work for me. And I feel like they're universal, and it really is energy. I don't know if people are ready to accept that or not, but everything is energy. Everything can be moved by your thoughts. Like, I don't know if people really get that. It's so important, just like what John was saying, to watch what you say, choose your words wisely. And I say choose your feelings wisely. I have a group on Facebook called Conscious Creators, and it's all about consciously being happy, because it's like, with consciously feeling good, you're letting the universe know, I want something good in return. I'm feeling like this because I want to attract more of this in my life. So, yeah, I feel like I've been talking for 30 minutes. So,
Thank you so much for that. That makes a lot of sense, and I'm definitely going to be using some of those techniques too, because there's more to just you sitting in your room and writing them down on your, wishing machine, which it really does work, just so you guys know.
Yep.
This is on my Google Plus, and this stuff is amazing. Thing is amazing. What I noticed today, these are new. Okay, back to John, when we were talking last week, it was so funny because I had written down a bunch of stuff, right? And some of them, you don't know when they're going to come true, right? Like you said, there's a delay. It might not be for your time right now, but it'll happen later. Just like when in 2011, I did a dream board, and I had put a graphic shop on there. Well, we just now last year opened up our graphic shop, so it took a little bit of time. So anyway, I kind of, after I had written down some of the stuff on my wishing machine, I had kind of thought about it in my mind and was like, I think I want to go this way now instead of the way that what I had written prior. So I'm talking to John, and I don't remember what I said exactly, but I basically wanted to start a new one because some of the things had already manifested. The mini vacation, the nanny, stuff like that. So I was telling John, I need a new one. And I promise you, this was here. The old one was here. Mm-hmm. And when I turned around to tell John I need to make a new one, I went like this. Yeah, I need to make a new. What the heck? It was gone.
What?
Yeah, it's gone. It's like, where is it? I don't know. It's so weird because it was there and then it just poof, disappeared. So I haven't had one up ever since that day that we talked last week, John. So today I went and printed some. So when I'm home, I took them out of the Home Depot bag because we're out of ink right now. This went to Home Depot real quick. And so I put it up right here and I started to write in it. And I'm not even kidding you. I'm writing and I could see the words just like coming out, just like, and they just kept going like that. And I was like, whoa. Ever since I went to Dwayne and Kelly's event, holy moly. I don't even have to try anymore because before I would have to sit here and try like, oh, and kind of see what else is out there. I don't have to do that anymore. It just when it's needed, I see it. You know what I mean? It's not like all the time I walk around and I'm seeing energy. And no, it's when it's needed, it'll appear to me. So with that, when I started writing, that was at around 4:30 or something like that. I'm like, holy cow! Like I can see the energy. Like you speak about energy, I can see it. I saw it just radiating out. It was amazing, and I'm like, this is it. Like when I was writing it, I was like, this is gonna happen. I'm moving to Long Beach, and I don't know what else I wrote on there. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how this stuff works. So what I wanted to talk about was, which I know a lot of people have dealt with this. I have been a negative person my whole life. I'm no longer a negative person. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not like that anymore. I like how I feel now. So anybody out there that is still just talking, you're basically talking yourself down and not allowing yourself to be free from those negative thoughts. Um, I lived so many years just constantly complaining, to people, to everybody. And my mom actually had to tell me at one point, you need to stop complaining so much. Like nobody wants to hear all this stuff all the time. It's too much. And then I met Josh and he said the same thing. And I was like, well, if two people have already told me, I think my dad told me once also, I don't know. If they're telling me the same thing, obviously there's something wrong with my words, the way that I am approaching people, the way that I'm acting. My life has been a roller coaster. I'm a good person, but I just had, I don't know what to call it. I just was stuck in my own, I was just, it was horrible time for me. All these, like my 20s, were just horrible because I was just constantly beating myself up. Now this year, I'm learning. Back then I didn't know. I had a dream board, but I was still, being negative. But now I'm watching the way that I look at people, the way that I conversate with people. I might slip up here and there, but now I actually have that compassion for people. I don't look at somebody and be like, ugh, what's she wearing? Because I'm like, what are you wearing? You know what I mean? It's like, you can't, they might be looking at you the same way, so why are you judging somebody else? So now that I've changed the way that I think of others and watch what I am saying, and I've noticed that I've kind of calmed down a little bit. I was always like, I've calmed down. I'm not, somebody's talking about depression manifests itself in negativity. Depression manifests itself in negativity. You guys understand that?
Well, I believe, yeah, I say I believe what they're saying is when you depress, then you're casting out a negative energy. It's like that, and then the more you depressed you get, the more negative the energy, and it draws you down because you cast it out as a negative energy. It comes back threefold negative energy, and it builds up and that's depression. Yeah, that's why depression usually gets worse until you can get, and I could say, well, you get to the right people, but the right people aren't necessarily psychiatrists or doctors.
Oh yeah.
The right person could be Day sitting there just listening to them, and has experienced some of the same events in her life, and tell them how she overcame them, and then they start seeing it from a different life, to bring them out of depression. You don't. It's not necessarily, everyone think, oh, that person's really depressed. Give them Valium or psych meds or whatever and send them on their way. But most of them need a lot more than that. They just need someone to talk it out with them to help them understand the depression. And of course, I'm not a doctor, so don't use my recommendation as a medical cure.
Yeah, well, that just reminded me actually that back in 2007, 2008, I was very depressed. And I actually created myself to lose my job, lose my car, lose where I was living. Okay, all of these things just trickled down from September 2007. I don't even know when it ended, but it was just event after event after event. And now when I look back, I was depressed. I was negative. And this is so bad, but I was locked up in my room with Ethan. Ethan was about a year and a half. I would not come out all day. I wouldn't come out. At that point, I had lost my job. So I'm sitting in my room. I wouldn't come out. I'd come out late at night. I would run out and grab food for Ethan and, whatever, go to the bathroom. But I would listen through the door, make sure nobody was there, and then I'd run out real quick and then run back in. I didn't want to look at anybody. I didn't want to talk. It took my friend, after like a week of me being in my room, she comes in and she's like, enough is enough. I'm either going to take you to the hospital or I'm going to call your mom, but you need to stop. And you have Ethan in here. You can't be sitting in the room doing this. So I created all of what happened to me because I don't even know why I was depressed. Honestly, when I think back, I had a job. I had friends at work. What the heck was I even thinking by speaking the words that I was speaking? So whatever I was saying, it was manifesting itself. You want to talk crap? You want to down yourself? Then this is what's going to happen. I was making good money back then too. I still lost my car.
Yeah.
It got repoed. So it's like I allowed myself to just dwell in whatever the heck, I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, depression can definitely manifest the negativity in your life. So if you are depressed, try like what I'm doing now, because I always get into deep depression. This year has been so much better. Now what I do, if we do have money problems, I'm not even going to see them as problems anymore. For a couple of months now, I know that I need it. We all know that we need the money to live, pay a bill,
Word,
whatever.
please. Word, please. I have money problems. Word, please. Word, please.
Oh yeah. Thank you. We were just testing it out, see? So there is no money problems, okay? The need for the bill to get paid is there. So I don't stress on it anymore. My list is there. The time comes and the money will come and it'll get paid. I used to be like, what are we going to do? How are we going to pay this? Oh, I hate my life. Why aren't you doing something, Josh? Or what? And I just constantly be just bitching and complaining. And now I'm just more mellow. And we just look at the chart and we're like, all right, we need that much for the cell phone. We need that much for Edison. We need that much for the rent. And we just leave it be. We're going to work as much as we can work to make that money.
Yeah.
But that's it. And we're going to put that out there that we choose, what is it? What word should I use to say this, John?
Depends what you want to say, but I choose to pay my bills.
Okay, I choose to pay my bills. And what I want to learn basically like when I want, nope, when I choose something, see, now I don't even know where I'm going with this. Okay. I need to be careful with my words. Dang it. So I choose to have enough money to pay all of our bills.
So I choose abundance.
I choose
Right.
abundance. Period. That's it, right? And then with that abundance, there will be enough for us to go traveling, have fun, just be happy in general, right? So I
Yeah.
choose to have abundance. That's what
Right.
it is.
And also they also make it make it about the mentality too. So say I choose a, mentality that reflects an monetary abundance, because like when you're saying I choose abundance, that's still like John said, you could be abundant. I got an abundant pack of pens right here. So it's
That's
like,
true.
it's like what you be clear. Like I value my needs. Say this, I value my needs so much that I will choose a more abundant mindset when it comes to money, because I actually wanted to talk about money a little bit, if you don't mind, because I feel like a lot of people watching, I mean, if you're not trying to manifest money as that's like the first and second thing on your list, then I mean, you're already rich. I mean, so it's like I feel like money is one of the things that, especially spiritual people, we have a bit of hesitation with loving money and wanting to bring in that mysterious money energy into the grid, because we've been brainwashed so badly into thinking that money is going to bring in this other darker energy that's gonna, and it's like,
Mhm.
that's not true. That's something that we bought into, and we can buy out of it. We can literally be like, you know what? I don't subscribe to this anymore. I will create my own rules. So it's like when it comes to money, I think, if you're thinking about it in a constricted way, then it will be constricted. If you're thinking about it in a loving, compassionate way, think about money as something that will help you to expand. It's a tool for your expansion. My guides told me once before I did a channeling, and they said, God, money was created specifically for all humans to be rich. So it's not, oh, some people can be rich and some people can't. That is what money was created for. There's no other, because life is not supposed to be hard here. It's not supposed to be a challenge. It's supposed to be us being expansive in every way. So you really gotta get deep. That calls for some energy work. Just really get deeper within, because still, you can be abundant if you want about money. You can say those things, but if you still aren't feeling that warm and fuzzy feeling about money, just like your child or a cupcake. Like think about money as like a cupcake. Like try to put it on the same wavelength and see how it responds to you different. I mean, I love cupcakes. I don't know if it might just be me, but look at that. But yeah, I think really change your money. There's a lot of different things I could say about money. I mean, that's a whole. I feel like that should be another topic, actually, hangout topic. But manifesting money definitely takes a lot of. I don't want to say takes a lot. Watch my words. It takes for you to choose higher, more loving, more expansive thoughts and feelings about it.
Yeah. And I actually did hear about that in a book that I had bought, and it did say you need to love that feeling
Mhm.
of the money, not
Yeah.
see it as, like a lot of people see it as the Illuminati and the government. If you, and that was me last year, like the beginning of last year.
Oh
But
yeah. Same here. Same
yeah,
here.
all Illuminati this, Illuminati that, and blah blah blah. It's like
Yeah.
all those things are there so that you can see it in a negative way. That's the only reason why they put those symbols out there in a negative way, so that when we bring it out in a positive way, you
Yes.
feel negative. Just like our shirt line, right? Right away, people think this is all Illuminati, I don't know if you guys can see it. The pyramid and all that stuff, and it's called a liberated mind. People don't understand that all of those things were put out there. I learned this last year. I was in it deep, and I even scared, you probably did too. I got scared shitless. Sorry, I'm out of there. I got myself out, because you can put yourself in that situation where everything is negative, and you're already watching all this stuff and the conspiracy things, and all of a sudden you're experiencing that, because that is what you are manifesting. So
Right.
yes, all of those symbols, the eye, the pyramid, the triangles, all that, they are going to purposely put that in Hollywood, in music videos, in the government, this, that, whatever, and try to make it all like it's a bad thing, because they're hiding the fact that all these things that we're talking about right now are not are not true. They're all just hocus pocus and crap, and you know. So yeah, as soon as we basically, you have to like blind yourself to all of that stuff in a way. Like it's not even there. Like I see it now, even when I see it on Facebook, it doesn't even affect me like it would before. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, they'll understand one day that that stuff don't even matter anymore. Like, the more that we put the energy into that, then the more that they get to grow. Just like the light, right? We awaken, we grow more. If you go that way, then they grow more. So it's kind of like a tug of war.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's there. Yes, it's happening. Get over it. Move forward. You know,
Right.
get
And
out of
also,
that.
honestly, if it's not happening within you, then it's not happening out there. That's the key. It was
Your
only,
reality.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And David Wilcock, years ago, I've been watching his videos since like 2006. I remember him saying that, and I still got myself involved. All this crap. But he did say that, and you create your own reality, and everybody else around you, they're living their own reality. As long as you're okay with yourself and you're not allowing all of that outside environment get into your reality, then you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You're living your life and you're happy, and who cares what everybody else thinks?
Yeah, and the also we're coming into a time now where the idea of separation is really starting to dissolve. The truth is that no one is separate. So it's almost like when you observe separation, so like, okay, just like what you just said, someone's doing their own thing and you just do your own thing. Like, yes, that's great, and that is a great defense mechanism to protect your energy and all that stuff. But also, send compassion and love.
Yeah.
Make sure you're using your light worker and spiritual abilities to, just send. I'm not saying heal the people, but
No, I know
just,
what you mean.
like, yeah, be
I've been
compassionate because
yeah,
the thing is, like,
I've been doing that lately. I actually started a couple of months ago, and what happened is I guess my inner goddess did
mhm,
this because I'm walking out my door like I do all the time, thinking about what I'm gonna go do, and I'm getting my car. But all of a sudden, I actually felt it. I felt this. I saw somebody outside that I just at that time was just fed up with being outside and parked there, and I was like, like there they are again, taking up all the room out there, and they're not supposed to be here, and being negative, towards that person, and having absolutely no compassion for what that person might be going through. So there I go, walking out the door, and I see the person out there, and I'm like, not trying to be mean, but I was just frustrated at, like, that's, why are you parked there? I have to walk all the way over there. Anyways, I literally, as soon as I had that thought, I felt that love just come out, and it
wow,
felt warm, and I was just like, whoa. And I changed the way I thought about the lady. I went down. I've told this story before. I walked downstairs, and I walked past her, and she smiled at me, and I smiled at her. I never even look at her. I would just walk on by like, man, she's here again. And then when I look at where my car's parked, I'm like, my car's not even that far away from where I live. It was just me creating this nonsense that didn't even need to be there. So yeah, that's when I started to really feel. I mean, I've always had compassion for people, but you have to have compassion for everyone, not just
yep,
pick and choose who you're going to have that compassion for. And
yeah,
that, with that compassion and love, that's when you're going to hit that. Okay, when that happens to me, I literally, how they say you have that aha moment? That literally happened to me. I was like, oh, just the way that I felt, or the way my body felt, my energy, everything was just like, wow, you know? So yeah, as soon as we all have that compassion,
yeah,
everything just changes for you. It's
yeah.
it's pretty amazing. I love it.
Me too.
So
John,
do you
you
want
have
to echo? Oh. Sorry, John, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to throw a question where, yeah, I just wanted to, seeing as this is Cree's subject is crystals,
Mhm.
and we didn't cover this part of it. There's those that says that crystals amplify the energy behind our desires or our wants. They help amplify the vibration of our intentions. And there's a lot of different crystals out there. Some are better, and I realize maybe you don't use them in your manifestation process, but I'm sure there's people out here who would like to know, which crystals, when they're trying to manifest, would help manifest more. Like, maybe when you're trying to manifest a love, maybe you use a rose quartz, seeing as
Right.
that's a heart crystal. So maybe if you throw something out there, if you would, please.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I don't have on my quartz right now, but whenever I want to amplify my intention, I'll point my quartz either at my vision board, or sometimes I'll point it in my third eye center if I really wanna if I really wanna get there. No, 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 no. Point the point away from you.
Oh, away. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So send love, send light. I'm visualizing myself, whatever you want. Some people, you might day, I mean, John, I don't know where you are spiritually, but since day you went to the God consciousness thing, you might be in a place where you can do it without the crystals. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of different manifesting things you can do. I mean, I personally don't do them, but I've heard of putting rose quartz and like sand and like a letter to your love, and in a full moon blessing. You can do a blessing in that way. There's a lot of Wiccan and pagan uh, ritual things that you can do for manifesting as well. I mean, you can use herbs, you can use different crystals. I think ametrine is a good one. Wait, no, is that ametrine or amazonite? I think
Amazon.
ametrine. I think ametrine is the one that's green that is always good for manifesting more love into your life. The work that I do with the crystals when it has to do with manifesting is any emotional breakthroughs that need to happen. So if I want to manifest more abundance or wealth, I'll grab my citrine and I work on my roots. I work on my solar plexus. I work on my sacral centers, and then that will create more opportunities for me to feel more rooted. So when I am calling out to the universe, I'm not feeling shaky. I'm not feeling all wobbly. I'm feeling rooted and grounded. So you can use and also tourmaline is always good. If you want to first thing in the morning or just throughout the day, if you're feeling like you're carrying something that might be negative, or you're around someone at work, like, okay, perfect. If you are trying to manifest a new job and you're working with people that you don't like, people that don't see your vision or your dream, and you have to deal with them. You have to deal with them not being on your wavelength, speaking in ways that are negative. Wear black tourmaline, wear crystal quartz, wear things like that, so that not only does the energy repel, but you're still able to stay pure, stay positive. Those are things that I've recommended to people that are trying to get out of work they don't like. But yeah, there's tons of things you can do with crystals. Also, use your intuition. Go to your nearby metaphysical store, and it's like the universe knows, and you know that you want to manifest whatever it is you want. Go to the crystal you're guided to, pick it out. You know what I mean? Get a book about. There's different spells you can do. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. I mean, even books at the library. When I was in my Wiccan phase, I read a lot of books about certain spells and stuff to do with different crystals and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that hope that's enough information. I don't use them so much for
Yeah.
myself. I use more, but that's the things that I think.
I think when
Uh,
you're I think when you're at a state in your spiritual growth where you know that you don't need them for manifesting because you can now just manifest it, then you don't tend to use your crystals and other things for that. I used to do spells too. I
yeah,
actually did one like before I met Josh. You know, I was tired of dating. I just didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I was like, I know what I want.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like I know what I want, so I wrote it all down. I said to write down exactly what you want in your partner, even if it's the looks and everything, and then fold it up, write love on
Yeah.
top, and sleep. I think it was under my pillow for like a week or something like that. I did this in July, and I've told a lot of people about this because it really worked, And I put on there blonde, blue eyes because I love my little white boys, And I put the blonde, blue eyes. I put everything that I would love, hardworking, just whatever. I put it all on there, folded it up, put it under my pillow, and then after the week, I think they say to put it like in your drawer or a jewelry box or something. So I did that. That was the end of July. August 29th, a month later, I go to my friend's party, and Josh just comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey,
Wow.
I'm Josh," and that was it. Like the rest is history. But
Wow.
it's like exactly what I wanted. There he was. Yeah, we've had our struggles, and it's not gonna ever. Well, no, no, no. Here I go. I was just gonna say it's not ever gonna be perfect. Hello. Back then, that's how I thought. But yeah, you go through, you learn from each other. I learned a lot from Josh, and he learned a lot from me. So me writing it down, like the universe brought me exactly who I needed for my growth,
Yeah.
and same for him. It's like, okay, let me pick this blonde one here for you, because he needs you, and vice versa.
Love I will say, manifesting love is one of my. Oh shoot! I'm about to say something. Oh my words! I do have to watch my words.
We need some classes on this, like seriously.
Wait, John, what can I say about? Okay, I don't even know how to talk now. What I was going to say is it's been a struggle for me to manifest love, the love that I want, and I know that I deserve. Cancel that. That's the old me. All right.
Really great.
So what can I say to like, you know?
I command the perfect mate. I choose to
Huh?
love the perfect man or woman or whatever your choice is. Yeah, but I could command it. I choose it, or I am perfect and I deserve the perfect mate.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes, that resonates because I am perfect. I am perfect.
And you deserve it.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah. So,
we need those powerful words, and yeah, isn't that funny how we're just talking, they just come out, and that's
yeah.
crazy. We're just conditioned that way to continuously down ourselves all the time, so that we don't get. Because imagine we all get what we want,
Right.
you know, everyone gets what they want, and they don't need what they've put out there, right?
Mm,
We'll know we don't need the medication. We'll know we don't need the junk food. We'll
right.
know we don't need all this crap.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they gonna do? Well, why don't they grow with us? It's
Okay.
like, come
That's what I'm saying. Like, why don't y'all just want to like grow with us? Like, I don't get it.
on. Like, what's so hard about just living in this blissful freaking moment? Like, get with it
Well,
already.
it does make the journey of life interesting. I will say that.
No, yeah, and what I just learned too is, you know, we can't be all light and we can't be all dark. There has to
Right.
be a balance because we have to learn from those mistakes. But the way that, let's just say before, the way that I learned from mistakes, I was beating myself up. Now I can look at a mistake and have it right in front of me and be like, oh, okay. Instead of beating myself about it, like, I learned this and this and this and that. You aren't like Dwayne teaches you. You don't have the feeling in you. You basically set it aside and you're looking at it, like, when you're dreaming, kind of, you're watching the dream happen. That's what you basically do with your feelings. I've been doing that lately. So I'll look at it and I'm like, okay. So I'm not even attached anymore. That's what Dwayne, that's what the whole thing taught me, besides what Kelly taught me, just seeing the energies, and that was amazing. Anyways, just setting it aside and just looking at it and be like, and what are you gonna do? Like, I'm
Right.
no longer gonna allow you. When, like, I tell everybody, Josh's aunt said this to me a while back ago. Put a face to depression. Put a face to, she's religious and she's Catholic, so she's put a face to it. It's the devil. Same thing with it. Put a face to it. It's negative energy. It's dark.
Way.
So once you put that face to that situation or whatever, the energy, you're not going to want it. You're not going to allow it to come back.
Right.
And that's the great thing about it now. You're just like, it's like,
I love that.
I love it. Yeah. It makes you feel so good now. Like, you won't even think about it anymore. It's just like, whatever, dude.
For
John.
So much of it goes back to the very first thing that I said when I started an hour ago, was you have to love yourself first, and most important, you are the most important person in your life. If you love yourself, everything else will work itself out.
Yeah, exactly. Look, you want to ask your question, Cree, to John?
John, okay, so I wanted to, oh snap, hold on. This will be something, blah, 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 blah. I didn't even realize I was changing my words, and I've awakened to the vibration and the power of words recently, and you know how people say, oh my God, this is so cheap. Like, oh my God, this pack of pens is so cheap, or oh my God, this shirt is so cheap, I'm getting it. Like, that to me does something to me. It makes me feel like, ew, I don't want something that's cheap. I don't want something that's like, because think about that word cheap. It's like, like, why would you want anything that's cheap? You don't want anything that's cheaply made. So instead of saying something is cheap, I changed my phrase to this nicely accommodates what is already in my bank account. Is that good?
Say what you said again.
So the phrase from it's cheap to a more positive one, this nicely accommodates what's already in my bank account.
That'll work. Or this, instead of saying something, but there's a lot to say about, this is cheap, or is it cheap because, like, you see a penny walking down, and you're walking down the street and you see a penny. It's just a penny. I'm not going to pick it up. Then are you casting out there that you don't need money? So saying something is saying, well, this is cheap. Are you saying something is below you, that the energy of new clothes isn't there for you? You might just say, well, I don't vibrate with this, or I don't resonate with this. That I don't think that the energy of this would look good with my energy. How's it look?
I love that. I'm writing that down.
But don't cast it. Don't say it looks cheap, because there's some people who are wearing it. So then, are you calling those people cheap because they're wearing what you say looks cheap? What energy are you casting out when you look at something? And it always goes back to that. You see a penny on the ground. Well, it's just a penny. I'm not going to pick it up. Then are you casting out that you don't need money?
Right. Or that some money is below you, or other money is not.
Yeah. So what energy? That goes back to the energy you're casting out.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome, John. Thank you.
You.
Thanks for the question. That's probably why I've never had good clothes.
Listen, girl. Goodwill, thrift shops, and lost and found. Okay.
Me too. That's me too.
But not anymore. Not anymore.
I don't resonate with that energy.
This is a Dave Johnson special. I resonate with this shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll hide again since I don't have one on.
Okay. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I think a lot of people really needed just more information. That people read it on the internet all the time, and there might be videos out there also speaking about this, but the more, the better. The more
Yes.
information, the better. And John, you really need to do a class or something on, like, hang out seriously on teaching people how to use their words, because even though you just taught us some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
no, I choose to use my words wisely. Does that make sense? Does that work?
I choose to attend this hangout, and it was awesome.
Yes. I
uh,
love it. Because I mean, honestly, just we only talked for what, an hour, and like I'm walking away with a new awareness. Like I never even valued, like, even though I talk a lot, I never valued like, oh, the power of words, whatever. Like it was very like that, and now I'm just like, wait a minute, that's true. I mean, it's a word, it's vibrational, it's sound,
yeah.
So
Yay. Thank you, John. Thank you, Cree. I
oh,
hope.
Day, I wanted to say something to you.
Yeah.
Remember at the beginning of the video when you were like saying that you didn't feel like you were qualified or something? You were like doubting yourself and
Yeah, for
just
like a
think,
month. Yeah, for
yeah,
like a
just think
month.
of it like this. You're just like Oprah, because Oprah has people who are experts in their field come, and she holds the space. So you're just like Oprah, because it's like Oprah's a student. She's the greatest teacher to everyone, but Oprah is someone, if you pay attention, Oprah is the student talking to the teacher. So imagine what you can have. I mean, don't ever put yourself down or feel insecure, because you're in a power position, because you're
Yeah.
giving people like us the platform to share. So keep on doing this.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a lot better now, so hopefully I can keep on doing it.
Yeah.
No, I will. Shoot, I did it again. See, that's when John catches me. Shoot. Oh, yeah, yeah. I was gonna choose another word for that, but I don't know. Delete, delete, delete.
We're
All right,
coming
guys.
to take you away. The word police is on his way.
Take me, please. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good evening, and I hope this video comes in handy. No, I know this video will come in handy. Dang. John, please do some hangouts on this. We need you. All right, guys. So we will see you next Saturday. Don't forget that Cynthia Crawford is going to be on. So don't miss that. It's going to be amazing. All right, guys. We'll talk to
And
you later.
one
Huh?
one other thing, there's GoFundMe for Cynthia Crawford. If those listening here,
Yes.
if you feel led to gift her, there is a site on Dave's page.
I'll post it on. I'll post it on the YouTube. Actually, real quick, I just wanted to say that Cynthia is amazing. Sorry, I did not bring this up earlier, but Cynthia is amazing, and she actually had an accident, and she had to have a metal plate put into her arm. She uses her arms, her hands, to make these amazing sculptures, and she hasn't been able to. So if you guys can donate, please do so. I will post the link on the YouTube and my Google Plus, and it's a surprise. So I'm hoping that we can, raise enough money to ease her mind a little bit for the months that she couldn't make any of these beautiful sculptures. So yeah, please, please, please donate. It'd be greatly appreciated. All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
Yay! All right.
Okay, bye, guys. Take care. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye,
Bye
bye.
bye.